I know nothing about the story.
I actually made the story up.
Yeah, I did make that up. No, I'd never use Slate if I made up a story.
The loaded slate?
Do you ever wish that Mikey's was back?
No. I mean, even if it was back, what does it matter? We're not going.
Hey, I would... We would have never left.
You sure about that?
You think that we would have grown out of Mikey's?
5, 4, 3, 2.
1.
Yeah, I mean, not even just grow out of it. I'm growing out of, like... Do you want to go downtown still? Once in a while, sure.
Every day, man.
But, yeah.
For me, it's every day, bro.
What?
That drinking downtown shit.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's every day, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be back after the
Feels
2 weeks?
Good, man.
2 week
Feels
hiatus.
good. I don't even know what this room really looks like anymore.
Why?
This is my first time in this room in a while.
Because you just live in your bedroom?
Either in my bedroom or just out of it.
You don't sleep on this couch?
No.
What has your life been for the past 2 weeks? Where have you been?
Fucking rise and grind.
I don't even remember how to do this anymore.
Yeah, me neither. Dude, I kind of want like fucking holding microphones, dude. I feel like we've grown.
Well, we used to have a table.
Yeah, we've grown out of these microphones. You know what I mean?
Okay, go ahead, pay for them.
I can't.
Why?
I have $6.
Right.
Yes.
So,
hey, but I have no.
You're a king of suggestion, guys. When you can't provide.
Hey, I can Friday.
Okay.
Come Friday.
Buy the mics.
I'll
then.
buy you.
Okay.
On Friday, I'll buy you.
Okay, buy them.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, right? You wanted to do whiskey sours.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, go to the store and pick up some lemons. What was the issue?
I would have been able to purchase maybe an lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much? Do you know how much lemons cost?
Like 50 cents.
Yeah, you could have bought some.
Yeah, I could have bought some.
You could have got some lemons yesterday.
Yeah, but that's $6.60. You know what that's going to?
No, I don't. The food for the rest of the week?
A little C's. At
Yeah.
least one little C.
Yeah.
And if I got to eat a slice a day, I'll make it to Friday.
Yeah, you probably liked hanging out with us this weekend, so you actually had food and sustenance.
I want to make this clear. It's the only reason I hung out with you guys.
I know. I haven't been able to get you on the phone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, just busy, rise and grind every single fucking day, dude. It's take no days off. Fucking, it's slumming in the streets.
You've changed since you started working again.
Yeah, man. I'm really about this garage door shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
I eat, sleep, and fucking
Grind.
breathe garage doors. I take life a quarter turn at a time. I fucking save the world one garage door at a time.
I know.
It's just what I do. Mm-hmm. It's what I was born to do.
I know.
Dude, I came out fucking...
Your body's built for it.
That's me out of the fucking womb. Give me a garage door. And that's just me all day, baby.
Is there any specific topics that you want to talk about? I got to imagine you got a bunch of stuff rattling around in that brain.
No. All I think about, dude, right now is working.
I got one.
All I'm thinking about right now is like
making money.
What am I doing taking this day off? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be out there on the grind.
Yeah, I could be out there grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to start with MMA?
MMA? Oh, dude. That fight card last night was really good. I felt so because you're so invested in certain things, like Monopoly, for example.
Yeah.
You just love that game so much.
Sure.
I felt like this disconnect where you just were like mind on other things.
Well, my mind was not on the match. It was making sure that the match was going. Because Dana White was out there on the web just like knocking down stream after stream. How many streams did I have to like relaunch?
We watched one single stream. We purchased it from the UFC.
Yeah. ESPN Plus. That's why we get it for that.
I know.
But like 8 or 9 blacked out while we were doing it.
They always do.
I haven't.
It's a lot easier when you're just actively on the computer.
Because I was putting it on the TV, so I had to like run to the computer,
upstairs,
play Monopoly, and you were just giving me tasks all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I would sit down. Can I have coffee? Oh, can I have a whiskey on the rocks? Oh, can I get to this food?
Hey, man, you were already pouring your whiskey on the rocks.
Yeah, I know, but it's just...
I only gave you Well, no, I was the one that wanted the fights.
Yeah.
But I knew that you guys would like the fights.
No, they were fine. We needed something on the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, not on the back. That was my forefront. I wanted those fights.
Yeah. Obviously.
It's all my focus was on. Because once I hit only railroads are underpowered.
I would love to talk about Monopoly.
Yeah, I know you would.
This is...
You have this issue, so I finally...
It was a good game yesterday.
It was a decent time to play it. Yeah, it was a good time to play Monopoly.
Yeah.
But you are a person that can't, read... certain... You can't read the room.
Yes, I can.
Because I think that you have autism. No offense. So, you think, if there's, 20 people hanging out, let me throw on Tenet. Or Inception. Or Shutter Island.
No, it's not that I think this is the good move, right? It's just when I want to watch.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, if...
It's weird to me that you, don't realize, I'm not going to be able to focus on this movie because people are going to be talking to me. I should put on something
We have this, not you and I.
Guys.
When I was watching, I have my friends Jackson, Nick, and Dominic.
Yes.
We do this thing called die roll, right?
Yep.
Where everybody gets assigned a number of the die.
Yes.
And if it lands on your number,
okay,
everybody puts a movie assigned to their number, right? So I would have, I think I had 3 and 5, right? Those were my numbers.
Okay.
So I put Godfather
I know.
on the die, and it they were mad.
There was
the
an
second
uproar in the room, huh?
they were mad. The second was on the number, but because of our love for the game, we had to just sit through it.
Yeah.
There's no we have to veto it.
Yeah.
And they never, to this day,
yes,
will still bring up how I put up Godfather for a just hangout movie. Yeah. Godfather's not a hangout movie.
Hey man,
Tenet's not a hangout movie.
All the movies that you pick are just not hangout movies.
That feeling of people being he just picks the worst things.
Yes. Is
so synonymous with me that they picked a movie that they hated, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars, The Force Awakens, right?
Okay.
They despise that movie.
It's a great movie.
Say what you want about it, right? It's a serviceable movie. I like it, right?
Yes.
At the time, the whole trilogy wasn't out.
It's a more fun movie than the other two.
Sure, right? At the time, I still liked it.
Yes.
But they were hating it.
Of course.
They put it on, right?
Okay.
I didn't say a word. I didn't knock it. I didn't knock the pick. Mm-hmm. And they slowly started ramping up this movie. I can't believe. And they convinced themselves that I picked it. And they were like, how could you fucking... And they just ripped me apart for their actions.
Yes.
That is So, right, when I'm in a group of people, I'm going to want to play Monopoly.
Yeah.
Why? It's the most dynamic board game of all time.
And I hate that you always go... Well, I think that you have the realization.
You and I because of our embargoes for each other yesterday, we lost the game for each other.
Yeah.
Because explain our property situation.
I don't believe that. I don't think that me taking that changes the game. I think that if anything, it just wins you the game. That's it. It literally did nothing for me.
Here is the difference, right? Mm-hmm. How many more times did people... Let's say... Okay, so here's the situation.
It was 4 times.
The properties are pretty divided at this point, right?
Yes.
And my father... This is who's playing. My dad, you, me, and Tyler. Four people in Monopoly, right? Okay. The properties are pretty well divided at this point. This doesn't always happen this way, but somehow, nobody seemed to have a clear advantage at this point.
Yes.
And my dad and Tyler...
If anything, it looked like I had the advantage, but it was because it was early game.
They both traded to get color sets at this point. Yes. My dad got the browns, Tyler got the yellows, right? I had your last railroad, and you had a green piece that I needed.
Yes.
And I was in a situation where I needed the cash flow plus the property so I could start movement, right?
Yes.
And you seemed to be in an advantageous position because you had 3 railroads, which net you $100 every time somebody landed on those.
Yes.
So you would have gained, the 4th railroad, essentially doubling your profit every time somebody lands on that, getting you $200, and I would have been on the board. This is why I thought it was a good trade. because you were cash rich, you could just pay out and get the property right away. And those railroads continued to hit throughout the game like a lot.
4 more times.
That would have been an extra
$400.
$800, right?
$400.
And if you're taking money away from other people, then they can't make moves.
So the issue that lies is that railroads are essentially worse than properties.
Because you can't expand on them.
Because I can't expand on them. You kept on making me pay. That was never the case. That you should have just flat out traded it or just not. Like, because you wanted the money, it was on you solely.
So
it was solely on
I
you.
said, let's do this. 1-for-1 property plus $100 from you.
Yes.
Because I needed the cash flow. And the only reason why I was offering is because I didn't have enough money to like survive, right?
Yes.
And at this point, I didn't have a color set, and you hated the deal.
Yeah.
So you were like, every round that you don't trade me this for, I think we eventually got to a point where I was like, all right, $75. And you were like, $60.
Yeah.
And you're like, every time you don't take it, it goes down $5.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, 55.
Because you have to
50.
realize it's not incorrect. The you asking for money was not like...
Well, because the green properties are better than the railroads?
10 times better, yeah.
I don't know if they're 10 times better.
They're 10 times better.
I think they're good.
Because the thing is, $200 doesn't really ever get anybody. That never fucks anybody. Hey, you pass go, you can land on a railroad each time. It never puts somebody in a bad position. It just goes,
but
I'm down the money that my salary.
But because railroads are 4 spots, it is statistically like
you're more likely to
you
land.
have a more likely
Yes.
chance to land on those.
But nobody lands on all 4. Like, it's not like people just go, oh, I land on all 4. It is a good property.
And if you would have got it earlier.
Wait. What wins people games and what eliminates people?
What, getting color sets, obviously.
Landing on a property that you have to pay like $800.
Sure.
Or $1,000.
But you could have leveraged.
You were never in the position to ask for more money. You asking for more money, it was always on you. It was never on me. You just were trying to rip me off. And
I wasn't trying to rip you off.
I get that you don't think that, but it was a ripoff. To ask for money on top of completing.
You would have completed. You would have completed a set as well.
You would have completed greens.
Yeah.
And greens, you upgrade that, and you would have, for like an extra $300, which I was paying a third of that, you would have just taken the $100 that I was quote unquote supposed to give you. You buy houses on it.
Here is why I think it's a good deal.
It's not.
Here's why.
It is never.
Why did you want the orange properties so much?
Because that ends the game.
The orange properties are not like literally on paper. The orange properties net you less money than the green properties.
Yes.
But you know, as well as everybody else who like plays Monopoly, because of like the cost of the homes and how like the cheapness to upgrade it, it is easier to get like a bunch of properties on those, and like people, because of the board placement of it, people landed it a lot more consistently.
Yes.
So I was saying the green properties aren't like, they're not the game changer.
They're pretty game changing.
No. Like the Park Place and Boardwalk, right? Everybody thinks those are the greatest properties, and they are good, right? They make you a ton of money, but nobody lands on them, and they're really hard to upgrade. The green properties are just the one below from that.
The green properties are pretty fucking good.
I think they're overrated.
They're not.
That was my thought process.
There's 3 of them. No matter what, they're all the same. They're all pretty much the same. The likelihood of you landing on them is the same. You were not intentionally. Your just thought process was incorrect, and you were ripping. The offer was a ripoff. It literally was. If I would have taken the offer, it would have not changed the game. And I'm a firm believer in that, because me getting an extra $400 in that game doesn't change anything. I was never bankrupting people, which is all that game comes
You were
down to.
earlier. You Because the only thing that saved me in the
No.
game was that I lucked into getting all the red properties.
You-
I landed on all the red properties first, I believe.
You got to realize how sequential. What is it?
Insequential.
Insequential. Losing $200.
Who?
Because you get
My dad.
you get
my dad and Tyler. My dad ended up taking third, right, and I took second. I just hung on. The reason, but those guys were like in such good standings the whole game is because they got the color.
Why did you take second?
Huh?
Why did you take second?
Because I lucked into the red properties.
Because people landed on the red properties.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you end up getting to just buy the red properties outright. You didn't have to make any trades for them.
No, I know exactly.
Yeah, and it just very lucky.
Yeah, I lucked into it,
Yes,
right?
but-
But my strategy didn't work, and I just happened to get second.
And landing on those.
But I'm saying, if you would have just taken the deal, right? All of a sudden, your cash flow starts going up a little bit.
What you don't realize too is that people landed on the green properties like 4 or 5 times since like the first time that you offered it. Hey.
Yeah, but I couldn't upgrade the properties in the first place.
Yes, you could have.
No, I didn't have enough money.
You go around once and you have $200 you can put out houses. If you put 2 houses on
Not if I
those-
was landing on your fucking on your railroads. All of a sudden, the 200's out again. That's why I needed money.
No,
I had no money at the situation.
you don't realize how much. Hey, you guys won, right? Who lost? I did.
Because you never took any properties. You finally got the railroads because
The railroads don't win you games.
yes, they do.
They do not.
I think okay.
They can put you in a position where you can purchase properties, right? But because like they're literally only good early game. They
Right.
fucking suck. They actually do.
But
suck.
they carry you into the late game.
Not when you give up, like when you don't have a completed thing. I didn't, because your dad landed on the orange and your dad was.
You could have overpaid for the orange. Then.
No, your dad was a firm not seller. Your dad was not, because your dad just was of the mindset. He was like, I'm never making a trade.
He made trades.
He made trades because he had to.
Yeah.
When he was getting eliminated, that's when he made trades.
No, he traded with Tyler right out the gate.
No.
Yeah, because
That was after he declined me like 8 times. And I offered him like triple what the orange was worth. Because I had the money from the railroads. The railroads suck.
Well, hey, agree to disagree. We got to move on from this.
I know. But it's not even like there is a right answer and yours is incorrect.
We'll look up some Monopoly strategy and we'll see what they have to say about the railroads, if they're good or not.
No, the railroads are good. Don't get me wrong for what they are, but they are not worth more than the green property.
We will look up, statistically, what people think of the greatest properties to own, right?
Okay.
And if the green is ranked high, hold on, we won't do it here because you just look up things and you just find the thing that is like, oh, it answers your question. This is no. You were not doing it now.
Hey, I'm currently doing it.
Okay,
Like,
then I'll look at the thing that says
Monopoly.
I'm right.
Best Monopoly. This is the first one I clicked on it. Let me scroll through.
Best Monopoly properties.
Yeah.
Here, Monopoly.
Most commonly landed on Monopoly. First, let's look at Monopoly properties and landed on the most. The layout of the Monopoly board is not even, so some properties are more likely to be landed on than others. If you can build houses and hotel on the spaces which are landed on a lot, you'll likely earn more money from rent.
Okay. Here is...
What do we got here? Based on probability and single most landed on property is Illinois Avenue.
Then go... Okay, so orange. And then, B&O Railroad. Reading Railroad. Orange again. Pennsylvania Railroad. Weird. Wow. All of these railroads are ranked before you even get to Pacific Avenue.
But you look at the probability, right? Look at the probability. And it's only a 0.4 difference, right? Which you got to realize, okay, it's maybe landed on.
3 railroads before a green even land is probability. Weird.
But you take those probabilities.
Yeah.
And for the chance to them landing on the railroad.
It was just $100.
It's not.
You're making the argument that $100 is nothing. It comes and goes so easy.
No, that's not the argument that I'm making. The argument that I'm making is if I make that trade with you, you won the game, clear cut, no questions asked.
I didn't.
That's that's autistic to think otherwise. That's so crazy for you to think otherwise. You realize you would have had 2, not 1, 2 completed properties and colors.
Not at that point, though.
Yes, you were literally...
No, at the point I offered it, neither of us had completed stuff. The red was still on the board, and I lucked into it later in the game, right? And by then, you and I were not trading with each other, so didn't matter.
You had the 2. You had the 2.
I had 2 green. I had 2 red.
Yes,
Correct. I also had 2 pink.
Yeah. Why would I ever complete your properties? You don't realize how...
I was completing yours.
That's so insane to think. But what does that do? It nets me $100 more per land.
Exactly.
That is nothing. What does completing your properties
do? $100 is nothing. It can't be nothing when it's $100 you're gaining for you. When you tell me it's also because it goes both ways.
Because then my profit margin. No, it's not. The profit margin is just not there because I already purchased the Pacific Ave. Hey, there's a reason. Hey, how about this? There's a reason Pacific Avenues cost $100 more than the railroad.
You know why?
Why would I give you double the cost of the railroad? Double, not single, not just at value or 100 or 50%. I'm giving you 100% value. Then
it's not the pricing of the properties isn't because they are better statistically.
It's the amount.
It's just because when they made the game in 1907, right? They're later properties in the game are just worth more, right? That's the only reason why they're priced that way.
But then the return is, hey, if you... I don't know what the actual thing is.
Okay, but houses cost $300 to build on that, right? So in order,
I don't think that they were that much.
They were
$200.
No,
they were $200 for us.
Okay, here we go. Green property, Monopoly, image.
Hey man, you were always wrong in that situation. What you're not realizing is that you literally pay the railroad just by passing go.
The green property... No, these are fucking European cards. Fucking bitches. Alright, you're right, 200.
Yes.
That is still a lot, though.
It's a lot,
yeah.
But you don't realize that ends the game for people. If people land... Hey, there was 4 or 5 times that people landed on the green. Granted, at the end of the game, it was really good because people landed on the green, and it was $26 or $28 or whatever it was, rather than paying fucking
$150 for the first home.
And then you buy 2 homes.
Okay.
You ended up having enough money in 2 turns where you were able to purchase 3 homes on red.
Yeah, well, the red properties are significantly cheaper.
It's not. It was $100.
$150, I think.
Yeah, $150. Yeah. So it's not significantly cheaper.
That is cheaper.
You would have been able to put 2 or 3 properties on those right away. You would have won the game off of it. I would have maybe gotten third. That's it.
I'm of the opinion you getting to the railroads, you would have gotten a lot of money.
Then hey man, then there's no talking to you and you're just wrong.
And then you start we'll throw it out to the people listening to it. Tyler, Voss, and Michael. Yes. Right? We'll see what they have to say.
To think that completing a railroad is equivalent to completing a property. And this is early. Nobody had completed properties. Let's make that clear.
Well, no. My dad...
They hadn't made that trade yet.
Yes, they did.
No. That was you keep on thinking that was the first trade ever. You got to realize that he declined my trade and you declined my trade before that even happened. They got to a point where he called it even because your dad landed on a space where he had to pay money. And he was like, hey, you don't have to pay me money if you make this trade with me. It was not that early. You think that you think that he just had the brown completed round 2? No, it was...
No, that's not what I'm saying. It was an hour and a half and I was playing.
No, it was
You realize we played Monopoly for 4 hours yesterday.
Yes, but I made
You were out at hour 3.
There was nobody there was no completed properties when that trade was made. Everybody was close. Everybody was one off.
What kicked our trade talk into gear was the fact that my dad and Tyler traded with each other and they started getting on the board with colors. Yes. Why else would I make that trade?
Because you just landed on, or I just landed on it. Or no. I wanted it, and I was like, hey, if anybody gets that, let's talk. And you're like, well, you got my green. I want that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, St. James Place. You got to realize St. James Place wasn't even taken when we were talking about the railroad.
No, my dad got it.
No,
because you offered my dad
because
a lot of money right away as soon as he landed on it.
You're getting this like twisted,
dude. You're fucked up. Your brain doesn't work, huh?
No, we're
gonna cut the Monopoly talk, right?
You got to realize how bad your trade was so bad.
I know. We're gonna leave it up to Michael and Tyler when they listen to this.
Even if it's halfway through the game, that's even more so. Hey, that's not correct, because completing properties at the halfway point. It wins you the game. Loses me the game because I have 0 properties.
We'll give it up to people. We've said our piece. Enough is enough.
And you keep on thinking that I'm.
How do you not want to end this conversation? Why do you want to keep going?
Because
I'm never going to concede.
You are.
I'm literally never going to concede. We're going to move on.
Because you keep on thinking that I think that the railroads are bad. The railroads are good.
Correct.
Properties are better.
I'm never going to tell you. I think in terms of rankings, right, the worst properties, without question, I think are the utilities.
Yes.
Then,
hey man, they're all 3 of whatever it is. 3 of 40.
If you had what do you think is the best properties? Orange, right?
I think brown.
You think brown is the best?
Yeah. Because I think that when you purchase brown and you can max them out, it's so cheap, and you just completely, by getting that, you completely eliminate.
I think brown is better than dark blue.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's the best though, because you completely eliminate everybody's salary but yours, pretty much, essentially. Because more than likely, when they pass, they're either landing on yours, community chest, which is the best case scenario, or
income tax.
Yeah.
I think
so. You're eliminating somebody's salary.
I think orange is better because it just like 3 is better than 2.
Okay.
So I think orange is better. This is where it's like I think reds are really good.
You also have to realize too, reds I think are probably the best. It's reds or browns. Browns are like good because it just like it chokeholds people. But like
because you can upgrade it so early.
Because you can upgrade it so early, and like I said, it takes away their salaries, and like.
Okay, so we agree that red, orange, brown, those are top 3. I'm fine with that.
You underestimate how good green is, I think.
Okay, hey,
because
before we get to the green,
I think
those are top 3, right?
I don't know if orange is.
I do.
I don't, because
we just looked up the probability, right?
But probability means absolutely nothing.
You're right. It means nothing. Yes, it means something. People land on it consistently, and they're cheap to upgrade.
Hey, they're all within like 0.1 of each other. That's not like. There's some games where other people land on it just way more. Probability, like it's actually the same probability. Hey, that's like saying you know, when people play 200,000 games of rolling dice, it's a higher probability.
When you talk to Monopoly pros,
please finish.
Go ahead.
If that's like rolling a dice and saying, in 200,000 times, the probability that you win or roll a 4 is like, 3. Like, that's not true. It's all the same. There's 6. It's 1 of 6. You literally have 1 of 6 chance. You have 3 of 40 chance.
Yeah, that's rolling a dice.
You have 3 of 40 chance to land on orange. You have 3 of 40 chance to land on yellow. You have 3 of 40 chance to land on green. You have 3 of 40 chance.
No.
Yes.
Why your argument doesn't work is because you're referring to, you're thinking there are 3 orange spaces. There are 3 red spaces, right? So it's like 1 in 3 chance, but that like excludes where they're placed on the board, the likelihood of rolling
Every
dice.
person starts from the same spot. Yeah.
Correct, right? But you keep going around the board over and over and over again, right? And with all of, like, that changes.
I think that yellow's worse than orange. Yellow ends up being later in the round.
I think yellow's worse than orange as well.
No, like, it's, like, better. I mean, like, it fucks, like, it fucks people, like, worse. Because you got to realize landing on yellow is worse than landing, because you end up, like, landing on that later in the game, even if the probability is, like, your probability that you're going off of, which is just...
The thing that we just looked up.
Yes, which is just... Yes. And,
it's not my... It's the thing that we both looked up.
hey, that's not correct, though. That's just...
Yes, it is.
That's just in a bunch of games. Hey, eventually it just evens out. Because it's 3 of 40.
No, that's not how that works.
Yes.
You are not thinking about it correctly.
No. You are thinking about it incorrectly.
People have played this game for a century. They have it pretty fucking mapped out.
Hey, man, you know what the least likely thing is to land on? 3 of the chances. We landed on chances like 18 times.
That is talking about those 3 spots specifically, not chance in general.
Okay, then brown's the worst. Brown is the worst because it's the lowest probability, buddy.
But it doesn't take into account how easy it is. Like, when we talk about the best spots, we're not talking about just probability chance. It's probability chance plus the, like, being able to upgrade the properties.
Yeah, man.
Are you done with the conversation now?
I am.
Are you want to get it all out?
I think that you're just incorrect. So
okay, again, we'll leave it up.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll leave it up to the 2 people who listen, and they can say what.
Completing green is so much better than completing railroads.
And I would disagree, and that's it. We'll watch a YouTube video after.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
And we'll.
Hey, I mean this wholeheartedly. I'm gonna fucking murder you.
Okay, very good. I'm glad we're done.
Yep.
That fight was more intense than the fucking Khabib kid. What's his
Cosmic?
Is that his name?
Chaimev.
Yeah, that was a more hyped up fight right here. You and I. With Monopoly.
No, that fight was really good.
It was pretty great, huh?
Yeah.
That fight was so good I didn't care about the
Monopoly game for a little bit.
No. What's the... do all the cards, because I kept saying it wrong and it kept bothering everybody.
So the main event was Alexander Volkanovski.
So, right.
Versus the Korean Zombie.
I didn't give a fuck about the Korean Zombie fight because of how good the other one was.
And also, that was like the highest intensity of the game. You and T-Rog just were back and forth giving each other like $800. So, like, it was pretty intense in the Monopoly game for you.
Oh, yeah. We needed to, like... we needed to speed run it because...
and your dad was on the time crunch.
Yeah, he was
yawning.
When it's like 12:30 and you've been playing Monopoly for 4 hours, you're like, okay, we gotta wrap this up.
Also, last thing about Monopoly, I don't like that. You clearly know how long you've been.
I always know how long it goes.
Yeah, and but then the people that defend it and are like, let's play it, like T-Rock, he goes, hey man, what's a couple hours?
Yeah.
Hey man, it's not a couple hours, it's 4 to 5.
Well, this is my biggest argument for people who don't like the game.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to not like the game.
It is long, right?
Yes.
But the trading's great.
Yeah.
Being fucking people, trading, wheeling and dealing, gaining money, all of that, like the fun aspect about the game gets like pushed to the side because people will not play by the rules. They think the game lasts forever and it never ends. It does have an ending. It just takes a little bit to get there. And then
long time.
House rules, screw it. People don't auction the properties, which also prolongs the game.
Yeah.
I liked that my dad was never arguing. The only thing he ever argued about the rules, when we started auctioning, he was just for it. Because he's never played that, obviously, right? Yeah. He was like, 3 doubles go straight to jail. I'd like to see that in writing.
Yeah.
But that's one of the most iconic Monopoly rules.
He also did not agree. He did not think that you could charge $700 for rent. He was like, there's no way.
Yeah, but that's just like
I'd like to see your card.
Yes, he didn't because it was 3 on the red property, I think.
Yeah. So you didn't care about that fight because the fight was so good, and also it was highest intensity of the Monopoly game. But Alexander Volkanovski fought Korean Zombie.
Who won? I didn't even see it.
I mean, everybody knew Alexander Volkanovski was just kind. Alexander Volkanovski's going down as dude. I don't know the weight classes, like what they're called and what they're in,
like featherweight, bantamweight, flyweight.
Like
I don't know. I know like the names, but I don't know what that means.
Like one. I don't know the.
Why don't they just say like 135?
Yeah, let me pull up rankings because this just lets me know what. So he's about to go down as probably one of the greatest featherweights.
Who's in that class?
Max Holloway, you know.
Oh, okay. So that's like, is that Connor?
Jose Aldo.
Yeah, that's Connor. Connor's in that.
Connor's fought in it. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, he's just pretty. He's beaten Max Holloway twice. He's beaten Jose Aldo, which are two people.
I know those names
that are up for it. I mean, Conor McGregor would be a person that if he beat him in featherweight, just be really good.
What is Dustin Poirier in? Is he the weight class higher?
I think that he's the weight class. He's lightweight, I believe. Yeah, he's lightweight. But yeah, he's going down as like one of the best in that weight class.
What's so funny to me about weight classes is
they're so small.
They're just so tiny.
Yeah,
they're little fellas, right?
Yes,
and they would crush me.
Yeah,
but
not the women.
No. We'll talk about that.
Yes,
but they people, you see these larger than life figures like when they fight.
Yep.
Mike Tyson, legit heavyweight.
Yep.
Huge guy.
Yeah.
He's not like tall, but he's like thick. Big. Yeah. Right?
Strong.
John Jones.
Yeah.
Legit big.
Yeah.
Connor.
Tiny little guy.
Floyd Mayweather.
Small little guy.
Who's the Filipino guy? Boxing.
Oh, that's just your aunt.
that's what I'm related to. Yeah. It's my uncle. Filipino boxer, Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao, yeah.
They're little
guys.
Dustin Poirier.
Little guy.
Mighty Mouse, obviously by the name. Little.
Yeah. Mighty Mouse especially. I mean, I think that he was flyweight.
So like all of these like intense fighters are so tiny.
Yeah.
And then like we're watching the women fight, right? And my dad is like, they would like crush you, right?
Yeah.
And then we like, Dad, you got to realize, Dad, they're 110 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And they are the most technical people. Like some of the most skilled athletes. But there's a reason why there's weight classes.
And like at some point, hey, when I weigh 260 pounds, I can just lay on you.
Right. They're not going to they can't physically lift your body weight.
Yes.
They know so much more about fighting than you ever will.
Even think about it this way.
But it's just physical. Like
how much can you bench?
Right now?
Yes.
Let's say let's just go at my peak, right?
Okay.
I could bench like probably 250 like a couple times, right?
Okay. And then take like your girlfriend, for example.
Sure.
She weighs substantially less than that.
Like 130?
Yes.
Sure.
And it is hard for you to bench press her. Like to pick her up, it's hard for you.
Yeah.
At my peak, I could bench 365.
Sure.
For me to bench press like a 200-pound man, 185-pound man.
It's hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
To just push somebody up.
Off of you.
Yeah. It's difficult.
So now think of a 110-pound woman.
Think of somebody that weighs 110 pounds.
Yeah.
And they can't bench press me. They probably can't bench 260 pounds.
Yeah.
I can bench press the weight.
Yeah.
And I'm incapable of lifting that person off me.
Sure.
That person's incapable of lifting that weight as well as pushing that person.
Not a knock on their skill.
No.
Not a knock on how like
I'm sure if they got the top position on me, they'd probably armbar me in like matter of seconds.
Sure.
But I just think that I just ball up and like somehow get like I'm just too strong.
Yeah.
And like big.
Right.
They're too little tiny frail women.
Yeah. And I would beat the fuck out of them.
I would snap them like a fucking twig.
That always reminds me of the Andy Kaufman thing. Andy Kaufman is
to wrestle women.
Anybody here? I'll fight any woman here. And he would have legit matches where he would just beat women up.
Just wrestle them, yeah.
Yeah, and he would go on talk shows like, I can just beat any woman here. It doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
people would be like booing him.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't matter. I'll beat anybody.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But yeah, then when we told your dad, like, weight differential, he actually bought it.
Yeah, then he was like, oh, okay. In my, like, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad is like, oh, I can beat the fuck out of anybody.
Yeah.
I have a question. Have you seen, and I'm changing the topic, end the UFC conversation. We'd like finish it out.
I mean, I didn't even get to go through it.
Oh, go ahead.
So he fights Korean Zombie. Korean Zombie the guy's just known for getting his ass beat. He literally got put in it because there's nobody to fight Alexander Volkanovski except for Max Holloway. There's nobody good enough.
Yeah.
So they just needed somebody that's going to strike with him, and he just beat the shit out of Korean Zombie. Fight underneath that was Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. This fight, this is why I mainly wanted to talk, was before this card happened, I had a feeling that Aljamain was going to beat Peter Yan. Peter Yan is like, people were like, this guy's a flawless fighter in this like weight class. He already fought Aljamain, who like was the number one contender at the time, and beat the shit out of him for however many rounds. I forgot how many rounds it was, but he just dominated him. Wrestling, fucking grappling, all that shit. Just beat the shit out of him, punched him a bunch. But at one point, kneed him while he was down.
Right, I remember this.
He dropped his knee last second, and Aljamain just like dropped his knee, and then he got kneed in the head. Disqualifying Peter Yan, giving Aljamain Sterling the title because he was concussed or whatever.
Yeah.
There's, rumors that he wasn't concussed and he just kind of faked it and acted it just to win the belt.
Yeah.
But immediately after that, Dana White goes,
rematch.
It's going again. This is the next fight of this division. Nobody's fighting for that belt. Peter Yan's just going to get the fight again. This was like, I'd have to check exactly, but it's been about a year.
Since then?
So this guy gets to just practice. A person that like is good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just gets to practice for one person.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Sure.
So I just had this feeling, even though like Peter Yan is a better like all-around fighter than this guy,
that he was going to actually win.
Yes. But I mean the odds were like 4-1. Like the Peter Yan was supposed to go in there and murder him. Aljamain Sterling just got his back. It was a very boring fight for people that are not like fight fans. He just had Peter Yan's back the entire time.
Yeah.
Then fight underneath that is the fight that you really liked, and it was probably the fight of the night.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to check. I'm sure that they won fight of the night. It was Kazmet Chaimev.
Nice little accent.
I cannot.
Wow,
I cannot say his name,
man.
He's just like one of Khabib's boys.
Sure.
Khabib like trains like a bunch of really good fighters. This guy fought 4 times in the UFC and got hit twice.
One significant, or two significant strikes.
Yes.
And then last night, how many did he get?
Like 100.
It's like 115, I think.
Yeah, they just like. I think that he went into that like not realizing, and this is also unheard of. He was like ranked. I mean, 4 fights in, he fought the number 2 guy like in the weight class.
Yeah,
that's not like a thing. Sugar Sean O'Malley like had like 5 KO finishes.
Yeah,
and didn't fight a ranked person. Like they didn't even give him a ranked person, like
why?
Top 15 person, because like you don't typically just rush people into stuff. When you got like somebody that's that good, you usually work them up to it. Mm-hmm. You get them, you kind of work the competition up. This guy just got, the ranked 2 Gilbert Burns like almost immediately.
Because he's a Khabib guy?
Well, because they like were like, oh, there's no flaws in this guy. Like he's wrestled people, he's submitted people, he's
he beat the number 2 guy last night?
He beat the number 2 guy.
Gotcha.
While being ranked, he was ranked like number 11, and number 11 was like, that was like a high jump for 4 fights.
So now he is ranked number 2. That's how that works. And then now it's gonna be a title fight next.
Either title fight or they're saying there's a person that's really known in that weight class. Flyweight, right? No.
I don't watch UFC consistently, but I just throw it on, right? And you're like, God, this is this is great. It's
Yeah.
such a solid.
Oh, Colby Covington is the number one.
I've heard of that guy.
So he's going to probably fight him next.
Okay.
Or he fights Kamaru Usman, who's pound for pound.
I know Kamara.
He's the pound for pound guy right now.
Okay.
So he's more than likely getting one of those two next, and which is wild to think that he'd do that in 6 fights. Not a lot of people do that.
Sure.
But he got wobbled last night. He got elbowed in the back of the head. It was just a dog fight. It was sweet. And you just couldn't wrap your head around that it was 3 rounds.
No, I could.
Well, you thought that unless it's the main event, that it's just 3 rounds.
No, this is what I thought. I thought I said the only fights that get 5 rounds are like the final ones. That's what I thought. That was
one of the final ones. It was
the final round.
Yeah.
Like the final match of the night, like the main event.
It's all championship fights.
I thought that's the only one that gets the 5 rounds.
I'm pretty sure that main events can also. I mean, it's very unlikely because they usually just have the main events usually a title fight. Those can be 3 rounds as well. Main event doesn't dictate that. It's championship.
So it's just like title fights?
Title fights, yeah.
Title fights give you 5 rounds.
But like sometimes they'll just like throw random title fights. Like, oh, you're fighting for the interim.
Yeah.
So like
5 rounds.
It's 5 rounds. Okay. So the interim is just you're the number 1 contender.
Yeah,
so
the
like,
interim. I hate the interim thing.
It's so stupid.
It's because the person won't defend their belt, right?
Yeah.
Like they just like refuse, pretty much.
Yeah. So Peter Yan was technically the interim because Aljamain Sterling wasn't fighting.
Right.
A bunch.
So they're just holding the belt.
Yeah. So, well, that was all of UFC.
Have you seen the most recent iDubbbz documentary?
No. Has he? He's had a new one?
Yes.
I thought that guy fell off the face of the earth.
Here, iDubbbz. It is.
Who's it about?
It is. Hold on. What is his name? God damn it. Hold on. This is.
Ludwig?
No.
Is it a weird person?
His name is Sam Hyde. Do you know Sam Hyde?
Yes. Wait, show me him. Is he kind of like a little skinny guy?
No. Not at all.
Wait, is he a murderer?
No. This is Sam Hyde.
Yeah, he's the meme.
Sam Hyde is... What made me think of him is he...
That's why I thought that he was a murderer.
He is
that picture.
He is an Andy Kaufman type character. He had an Adult Swim show, right?
Okay.
And he does just stand-up comedy, right? But people have taken his they have taken his like comedy to be true, alt-right, propagating like racism or like cult-like things, and because of it, his Adult Swim show got canceled. He is like, people associated with him are like scorched earth kind of a thing. Like that, he's like of all the people that are like cancelable, he's like up there on the top of the list. I don't know why I'd never heard of him before.
I've seen
that picture, whenever there's a school shooting, his fan base will go, "We got the guy."
yeah. I've known that.
And news articles will go like, "Here is known shooter Sam Hyde," and they just put that photo all the time.
Yeah.
So,
he's got to be a weird guy though.
Ian iDubbbz wanted to figure out the inner workings of him.
Yes. And
he goes in to like the Den of the Beast to like interview him and his crew, and it is an incredible viewing experience. I really loved it, and it doesn't pay off until the end. Okay. I just want to sell you on it because there is nothing nothing I can say is going to be as good as watching
I'm going to watch it.
So
I love iDubbbz documentaries.
So yes, that it is once you watch it, we will talk about it again, and then I'm interested to see what your take is on it.
It's nuts that iDubbbz has gone just from being the guy that says the F and N slur,
sure,
to just making
documentaries.
Great documentaries.
Sure.
Yeah.
Airsoft Fatty, all of it.
Great.
What did you think about the food yesterday? The smash burgers.
They were good. Yeah.
I like doing it. I didn't realize how easy they were.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
do.
I'd let you make me some today too if you want.
I know you really got no money, huh? You have to bring the meat though.
No, if you bring the meat, I'll eat it.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
No problem. And I'll even go, this is good. You're, I think that you were looking for more of a reaction from your dad, and he didn't give it to you. Huh?
No, I didn't expect him to.
No?
No,
You were like, hey, Dad, what do you think? He was like, it's all right.
He I don't think he was gonna ever react like crazy. No, I think he was just there to because my girlfriend, my mom, everybody's on a like trip in Mexico right now. Yeah. All of our like girlfriends and everything, and he was
that guy for sure doesn't cook, right?
No, not at all.
Never.
He has no idea.
To the point where at one point, like everything got smoky in your house.
Yeah,
because like
burgers are
greasy.
Yeah,
and all that.
He was just so confused.
He was so confused why he was smoking, and he goes, when your mom cooks, it doesn't do that.
Right. When she cooks burgers, also, she never cooks burgers like on a cast iron within the home. Yeah. She always cooks them on the grill.
But that means nothing to him.
Yeah, he didn't put that together.
Saying that it was cooked on a cast iron probably meant absolutely
no.
Because he just goes, my wife cooks good food.
Sure. Yeah, that's the end of it, right?
And I really like that he goes, when your mom cooks, it doesn't do this.
Yes.
That line made me laugh, and I stewed on it for a bit. And I was like, this guy legit...
He's like, why are all the windows open?
This guy legit barely touches a microwave.
No, he'll microwave stuff, and he can't... He never cooked growing up. He helped with, like, breakfast. Like, he would cut potatoes.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. But that guy...
He knows how to make, like, an egg.
That guy won't cook... I assume he doesn't know how to turn on a stove, but that guy can fix a stove.
Sure.
If that stove breaks, he can fix it.
he can put it. He can install it.
But if you got to put a frozen pizza in there,
not a clue how these fuckers work.
He turns it on and he puts it on top. He puts it on the burner.
How the fuck?
How does this ever get cooked? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it made me laugh a lot when he was like, "It doesn't do this when your mom cooks." I know. Well, Dad, she cooks them outside. Yeah. And on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah.
And she never will like do a smash burger.
Yeah, I was like, because I am a very big critic of your food. Because
you love to critique.
I love to critique.
Yeah.
And also, I hold your food to a high standing.
Sure.
I think that you're actually a good cook.
Thank you.
Which I just think that you can follow directions to a T.
Very good. Yes, that's all it is. Anybody who like, I'm not a real cook.
Yeah, because you never stray off a path.
No, I will go 20 minutes out of my way to get the specific ingredient that it says in the...
Yes.
Like yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. I had no plans on you guys coming over.
Yeah.
And that YouTube video...
Which was crazy because we said early in the day that we were coming over.
That YouTube video...
Before we split
came into my recommendations, right?
Yes.
It was chili cheese smash burgers, right?
Okay.
I click it, and I was like, all right, I'm thinking about making it, to like, oh, I'm just going to go out and get every ingredient. And I go to Sendex, right?
The specific one, by brand, by everything.
Correct.
Yes.
The only, like the pizza recipe, right? Mm-hmm. I'm of the opinion that if I don't follow it to the T, it doesn't turn out as good.
I'll come over for that pizza.
Relax, buddy.
Come on.
This chili cheese recipe, I went to Sendex and I got all the, like, all I was missing was, like, a couple spices, like mustard spice, or, like, ground mustard. I didn't even know that existed. Yeah. An onion, tomato puree. Onion? You just spit like crazy.
Yeah, I gleeked.
And then MSG. Do you know MSG?
Hey, MSG's fake. I don't believe in it.
Well, it doesn't exist in Sendex or your local grocery store. I couldn't find it.
It's illegal.
It is just...
You can only get it at Asian markets, right?
I had to go downtown to the Spice House. It was the only place I could get it.
You got to go to it. No, or if you just find like a local old Asian woman, she sells MSG.
She'll have it, yes.
Every single time.
People are scared that MSG will kill you.
Yes. They're terrified of it.
It's just like salt.
It's
all over like Doritos. It's over Cheetos. It's MSG's and everything.
You know what it's mostly in? Like I just brought it up.
Asian food, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Look at Asian people. There's only like 2 fat ones in the world.
Yeah.
There's Bobby Lee
Sure.
and Kim Jong-un.
Yep.
Outside that, all Asian people are skinny. Why would MSG kill you? Have you seen these Asian ladies? They live to be like 140.
So I went out of my way
So
to...
like, why would MSG ever kill you?
And then I tried it.
It's propaganda.
I just tried, like, tasted it. It's, like, not amazing.
Wait.
Yeah, a little...
Dude, you're a dead man walking.
Yeah,
You're a
that's
dead
it.
man walking.
MSG is literally just, like, all over, like, garbage food.
Yeah,
Like,
it's sick. It's sweet.
all chips. Yeah, it's great.
It's propaganda.
Correct.
The MSG hate is like Russia hate. It's not. It's unwarranted.
So I made this chili. I made this chili.
I'm just about to let that one slide. You fucking.
I'd still let it slide.
You crazy maniac.
Spot the lie.
I know.
Yeah, we just whipped those bad boys up.
Yeah, you follow things to a T, and when you go off of that, stray away from it, you kind of fuck things up sometimes.
Well,
too.
the potatoes I most recently made, I didn't not follow it to a T. I just had shitty equipment in a shit fuck home.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about.
Which one?
Is you made chicken for me one
Sure.
time, and it was so close to being like the best chicken that I ever had because it had like a perfect crust. It was juicy on the inside.
Just salted it like crazy.
And you just were like, nah, they said you can just salt these puppies. You start fucking, there's a whole layer of salt on the outside. You go, flip it, other side, whole layer of salt.
Yeah.
It was the saltiest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, because they said they go like 80% of your seasoning falls off as soon as it hits it. And I was like, fucking no
That's
problem.
propaganda like MSG, man.
So I just threw it, and I was to this day, chicken is the bane of my existence. I hate
that. Was so close. You were so close to making perfect chicken.
Fucks me because you have to cook it all the way through, right?
No, I eat mine sometimes.
A little pink in the middle.
A little pink.
I like my chicken medium rare.
Yeah, medium.
It's
well, not medium rare. I'm a medium guy.
And because you have to cook it all the way through.
Yeah.
If that's the issue, right?
If you cook it a little bit too long, it gets dry. If you cook it a little bit too short,
you die.
You're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like eating raw MSG.
So my girlfriend, if it's a little pink, right?
Yeah.
She's just like furious.
And she'll also throw up.
Yeah. Well, she's throwing up no matter what.
Yeah.
It's always going to happen.
Yeah, we know. But yeah, so like you have this hit or miss with your cooking.
Yeah.
And I don't
miss
know,
more than a hit.
Well, here's the thing. When there's no pressure on and you just do something like the smash burgers where you're like, well, I found this YouTube video, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It ends up being good.
Sure.
You end up finding
steak.
You end up running into beef Wellington. You go, oh, I'm going to make that.
Yeah.
It turns out good. You end up going, Gordon Ramsay makes a good steak and has a good steak video. Going to make that. Turns out good. But then when somebody goes, hey, make potatoes for this, you're going to fuck it up.
Sure.
Or if I go, dude, David made me the best steak, and it's literally the best steak that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I tell people this, I talk it up. We finally have somebody else over to come eat.
We make fillets.
And we go, fuck it. Last time, David made the best fucking steaks, and he just did that with the Walmart New York strip. We're like, let's go to the fucking butcher.
Yep.
We're getting a fucking filet mignon.
Yep.
We're fucking getting crazy in this motherfucker. You make it purple in the middle.
Yeah, fillets were tough. They're tough.
You made it purple.
I want to redeem myself on the fillet, but I can definitely do like a New York strip.
You got to cook that puppy in the oven first,
or lower the heat like crazy and cook it for a while.
Easy is it's like cooking a beef Wellington, man.
Beef Wellington, I'm very happy with how that one turned out.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Your pizzas are good. Your pizzas are really good.
The pizza, I think I can just like nail without looking.
And I'll come over for that pizza.
You can't.
Why? You have 4.
I do have 4 in the fridge right now. Yeah, 4 ready to go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I can have 2.
Yes, you can.
Come on. Can I have pizza?
No.
Why?
I'll think about it.
Come on, man.
I'll think about it. We have it still has to wait like 4 days before like really good to go.
That's fine. Then I'll eat them.
I know. We'll wait. We'll see.
Because if I eat, actually, you'd be doing me a huge favor.
I know I would.
Because if I eat that pizza, I will actually survive this week.
We'll think about it.
Because I have 1 pizza to cash out from.
Do you want to see? You want to see Doctor Strange?
When is it?
May 5th, I believe. It is a Thursday.
How long is that?
7:30.
Like a month?
It's like a month away.
I can go to that, yes.
A little bit less than a month.
I probably can go to that, yeah.
Let's just double check. It is May 5th. And the typical group who goes is not going because they will all be in Vegas.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is 2 days before Beth and Tyler's wedding.
Unless you wanted to watch it on Saturday, that Saturday.
Yeah, I'm free that week.
Yeah.
No problem. Speaking of that, we got to get those suits.
What do you mean?
You have to get a suit, huh?
Yeah.
You have time.
Well, I'm wearing my own suit. I'm not going to wear the fucking garbage that he wants to put on me.
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, fuck him.
You don't get to decide what I'm wearing for your wedding.
Yeah, I really want to for a wedding.
Can you hear my stomach?
Yeah.
I gotta shit my pants.
Yeah, I know.
We have like 2 minutes. I gotta fucking
shit.
I gotta shit like crazy.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be your wedding when you eventually get married.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing a white dress to it.
Fuck it.
I don't give a fuck.
What does it matter?
I don't give a shit.
Who cares?
Yeah.
That's what my mom did at a wedding.
I know.
She did it at the most recent one we went to. Just wore a white dress.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Make it about you.
Hey, it is about me. That's what's annoying is that people have these weddings and think like, oh my God, they're going to talk about me.
No.
They're going to talk about me.
It's about us.
Well,
this is how we started this podcast.
Yeah, us.
Making weddings about us.
Yes.
We have no more time. So we are finally done. We're back, baby.
We're back.
We're back.
Sundays, baby.
NBA playoffs are about to start.
Yeah.
Last day of games today.
We're the number 1 seed.
We are the 2 seed.
Was that your tummy again?
Yeah, I got a shit. All right. Ta-ta, everybody.
Hasta luego.